This is Ken Hall, president of the Macarthur Bushwalking and Cycling Club. He has been bushwalking in the Macarthur region and along the Georges River for over 25 years, and he has had enough.
Macarthur Bushwalkers is a bushwalking cycling group. We're not an environmental group. We were pushed into this 2 to 3 years ago because we were horrified at what was actually happening to our river and our local environment.
In August this year, Ken and the Macarthur Bushwalkers attempted to take Illawarra Coal and Endeavour Coal, two subsidiaries of multinational mining company BHP Billiton, to court for polluting the Georges River. Ken is just one of a growing number of people and groups that are concerned about the health of the Georges River and the impact of longwall coal mining in the area. With the Macarthur Bushwalking and Cycling Club, he has been documenting changes in the region for over 20 years. And by 2010, Ken believed they had the evidence of the West Cliff coal mine polluting the Georges River.
So all the water that's actually flowing out of this BHP dam here is coming out of there.
Through the Environmental Defender's Office, Dr. Ian Wright, an expert in water science from Macquarie University, was contacted to undertake independent testing on the river.
Salt sky high. Coming out of the coal mine, it was turbid, it was discoloured, and it was visually, you could see, your senses could pick up straight away, there's something wrong with this.
This was enough for Ken to take action against Illawarra and Endeavour Coal, with a court summons filed in May this year. Legal proceedings were expected to start during August. However, on July 27th, after 2 decades of ignoring the issue, the Environmental Protection Agency released a statement that it would now take measures to improve pollution from the mines. This was followed by another release in September confirming that mine discharge was affecting some aquatic life and that the EPA was now in the process of implementing emissions licensing to regulate pollution. New South Wales Senator for the Greens, Lee Rhiannon, says the actions of the mining companies represent gross misconduct and that it has resulted in large-scale damage to the river and local ecosystem.
This company that has got so much money has been allowing mining operations to go ahead that pollute the river with arsenic, with a whole number of a toxic plume that has moved down that river for many, many years. 15 kilometres have been largely destroyed.
The bushwalkers aren't the only ones who have been documenting changes in the Georges River, nor are they the only ones concerned.
This area was the swimming area for local people. There was a wooden bridge that stretched across the top of the gorge, and in really wet weather the water would lap the bottom of that bridge. Now it's just a weed infested sediment mess.
The Macarthur branch of the National Parks Association, which provided the funds for Dr. Wright's tests, has been campaigning hard for better protection of the Georges. Executive Committee member Pat Derman has been living in the area for over 2 decades and says she has watched parts of the river dry up from a heavy and healthy flow to just a trickle in many areas.
We would like an independent assessment of why the water flow is so low, even in wet weather.
This is what the Wedderburn area of the Georges River looked like in 1964. Children are pictured playing on sand by the riverbanks, with a bridge above that was often breached by water in times of flood. During the early 80s, the bridge was replaced with the Wedderburn Causeway, and this is what it looks like today. Pat says the water levels being reached presently are nowhere near that of the past.
Even in the recent rain, there was only just a trickle over the top of the causeway. It should have been 4 metres at least higher.
Longwall coal mining is an underground mining technique where a long wall of coal up to 4 kilometres long and 400 metres wide is mined in a single wedge. Subsidence typically occurs immediately as the long wall is mined, and many critics believe the technique could affect natural water flows. It is difficult to state what is causing the loss of water exactly, but more and more evidence is available to suggest longwall coal mining is having an effect.
Within a stone's throw from here, there are pristine creeks. And that, to me, is so amazing that this is so bad. And yet you go 10 minutes down the road and you can drink the water.
And what contributing factors could there be to that? I mean, is there less mining in that area, or is there less?
There's no mining in that area.
The Georges River is one of Sydney's major waterways, rising near the coal mining town of Appin and flowing north for approximately 93 kilometres before emptying into Botany Bay. Senator Rhiannon believes it is amazing that such environmental damage is taking place right on Sydney's doorstep.
Georges River flows through so many suburbs of Sydney and then out into the Botany Bay. That's criminal that we allow one of our own rivers that's so critical to our water resources to be polluted.
In early October, the EPA revealed that Endeavour Coal has applied to vary its licensing to authorise the limited discharge of certain pollutants. For Ken, years of documenting damage to the river has taken its toll, and he says that the EPA's latest media release and ongoing negotiations with the subsidiaries of BHP Billiton may render all his work futile.